So, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good. It's good to be back in the studio, the Thrive studio.
Thrive studio is the best place to be.
Yeah. Traveled recently. Come back. It's been nice.
Yes.
Get out.
Yeah.
Support George, what he's doing.
We love George.
We do love George, my husband.
Does.
Yeah, he's awesome.
He's the best.
But had a little thing recently. I was at an event. You already know.
Oh, Lord. The people are crazy.
Oh, this one
Let
was,
me tell you.
in my opinion. No, anyway, so we were at this event, and I had something happen that I wasn't expecting.
Okay.
I ran into someone from the past.
Oh.
And
that's not always great.
No, this one was not good. And, it's one of those things where I thought, okay, this is a person that has really hurt some people that I love.
Yes. Okay.
And whether they know how I feel about them or not, we have never had a conversation about it. And so it was one of those things that...
And you knew this person, like, close or, like,
Yeah. Not to get too specific.
Okay.
But a lot of history there.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Personally and with people I know and love. Anyways, so this person had really... And they're just a little jackal, I just want to say that.
That's disgusting.
If they ever see this, who knows? They probably won't know that I'm talking about them. But anyway, I'm okay with it if they do see this. Anyways, to get into it, all of a sudden I started having all these feelings. And I'm just like my blood was boiling. And I'm not I've never really experienced that before. And I'm just like, where are these feelings come from? But I just felt like my face was turning red. And this person starts talking to me. And I'm like, I do not want to
nothing happened.
Engage with this person.
How did they talk?
Yeah, but it's not like, they're just a jackal. So just... I don't want to get into it.
Still fresh and raw.
Well, they're just, how some people just the way they are.
I know.
So that can be annoying, and that's their personality. That's them and who they are. So, I mean, it's fine. But anyway, so I'm actually with George, and, he's like he's like, who is this? And I'm just like, I will tell you later. Like, I don't want to talk about it now. But the feelings were so raw. And I'm like, I thought I had let this go. It was one of those things where I was like, I was not expecting those feelings like that.
Yeah.
And when I saw them, I wasn't expecting to see them. But when I saw them, I just immediately, it just all overcame me. And I was just like, this is real. Oh, no. This is real. And I didn't know. I was just very confused. Why am I feeling like these strong feelings? I thought that I had worked on this. I thought I had let this go. I thought I had forgiven this person. Yeah. So it just got me thinking, and I know we had talking about this and bringing it up, but it's one of those things where I'm like, I really thought I had, let that go. Yeah. And I tried to work through that. Yeah. And so it was surprise feelings for sure. But have you ever been in a situation, or have you, I'm sure, in life, you just have those people that really have done something, or what have you done to let it go?
That's a good question, because it's easy. It's so easy to just hold on to things. And especially if it's someone you're not interacting with daily. I guess at one point you were or whatever, but to come back and have a situation like that where you haven't seen them in years and all that stuff comes back.
And it's not like I had a conversation with them about what they have done to the other people.
Right.
But, so there is that, but still the whole situation, you would think that they would understand that there's some awkwardness to it.
Right.
And maybe they caught that a little bit, but anyway, and then as time went on, I was fine later on. I was telling George about the whole story, what had happened, and he was like, oh. Yeah. But then I was just like, then later I was fine.
Yeah. Well, but that's anyways, good to
go
hear.
Ahead. Sorry, keep going.
No, it's okay. It's very easy to just hold on to things, especially when that person has done something to you or something to someone close in your life or whatever the case is. But it is extremely hard to just let things go and move on. Yeah. Or I don't know. But you also don't want to disregard it to the point where you're like, you completely have not even dealt with it at all or thought about it or allowed yourself to feel upset or whatever you feel from what this person did. So you want to be sure to process those things. And that's the process of dealing and healing, and moving on and
I
growing.
like that. Dealing and
Dealing
healing.
and healing. On the spot, just came up with that. Just
like
a word
it.
drop, dealing and healing.
On the streets, apparently.
So anyways, but yeah, it's just the process of, okay, let's identify what one thing or what few things happened that made me feel this way. And let's identify those feelings. Okay, let's process the feelings and go through it. Okay, yeah, people are people and they're the worst. Okay? They're the worst.
Some of them are.
Okay. But and it just and you don't really have control over what they do or how they act or what they say or whatever, but and it,
in my mind, I had to walk myself through everything again.
Yeah.
It helped to talk about it with George.
Yeah.
It was good to get out, but I was like, I really thought I had dealt with this. I thought I had forgiven the person. So I guess in my mind, that doesn't mean that you're never going to feel those feelings again. And I think sometimes your feelings can be stronger when it's about people you love.
Yes. Yeah.
And when you know what had happened to them and things like that. But, it's still, you do have to, I had to go through a process again. It's in your mind.
Yeah.
Really.
It is.
And just sort of take a step back and look at a broader picture and just be like, anger, bitterness, forgiveness being the biggest thing.
Yeah.
But forgiving people.
Yeah.
Truly being able to let things go. And I think if I had to see this person again or interact with them or whatever, I think it'd be fine.
Yeah.
Not that I really want to because of who they are as a person.
Right.
It's not like I'm going to be friends with them or anything. They're just not something I would associate with. But at the same time, as who they are now. But at the same time, I think I had to walk myself through that whole process again.
Yeah. And that's
just
the thing.
Go through your mind, like letting things go.
Yes. That's the thing. Like even close people in my life, people hurt people and hurt people most of the time.
That can be a tongue twister.
That is how it goes. But even when I've been affected in my life by people, especially people that are close or have this major part in my life, I have either not been able to deal with that thing at the time, or I was too young and I didn't understand, or I didn't even realize it was a problem, or I thought I had gotten over it. And then years later or months later, whatever it is, something comes up to trigger it, or I have an encounter with this person, or this person does something very similar or the exact same thing again, or whatever it is, to bring that back up. And so I've had to go through things, and I've had to almost relive an experience, and be able to, again, okay, what am I feeling? Why am I feeling like this? Let's address it, because I can't stay in this, because I've got to move on. It's the adult thing to do. It's the mature thing to do, and the wise thing to do.
Yeah.
Can't let it hold you back.
And realize your feelings are valid. I've said it before, but it's so true. You have got to recognize and let yourself feel the way you do, because obviously something happened.
Yeah.
Whether whoever was in the wrong, you were hurt for some reason by someone. And a lot of times it's people very close to you.
Yes.
And a lot of times the closer you are, the more feelings and emotions are there, and the harder it can be to let that go, forgive, because feelings are so raw.
Yes.
But you've got to process everything and truly for yourself.
For yourself and
for
more,
if anything.
It's okay when you come to the point of forgiveness, true forgiveness. I'm not saying, I forgive you and we're just going to move on and act like it didn't happen or sweep it under the carpet or whatever. That is not forgiveness, because it is always going to come back up, always. And you're just going to be tested with, okay, have I moved on? Have I learned from this? Have I grown from this? Can I have a healthy relationship with this person again? Yeah. You're always, regardless of whether or not you have fully and truly forgiven them or not, you're going to be tested with something, and how you handle that situation is proving whatever side you are on.
Yeah, most of the time your forgiveness is for yourself, because sometimes you will not even ever see an apology. And I think you sort of have to go into these things with the expectation of probably not going to get an apology. Yeah. Can I be okay with that?
Yeah.
You should for your mental well-being, for your health. It is unhealthy.
Yes.
To keep the bitterness, the
Yes, it
negative
is.
feelings. It's not even healthy.
Yeah, because then it does. And I've had situations where my health, my physical body has been affected by things that I'm dealing with emotionally and mentally and whatever. It does. When it is not dealt with in the correct way, it's going to lead to physical problems.
Yeah.
It just is.
Yeah. I work for a doctor, and we've actually had medical situations with people who we have given them every test in the book. I mean, gone above and beyond what other doctors have done for them. And what it comes down to is a conversion reaction, which is something that happens to you, and it's real. Your symptoms are real, but you cannot control it. You know, some people have had difficulty walking, or you know, they have all these different symptoms that are real.
Right.
But like, you know, your
stuff, it's all rooted.
Trauma.
Everything has
there
something.
has been trauma in their past, or something had happened. And you know what is really interesting to me? You know, this has become interesting the more, you know, we've seen this with different patients. But one time, I think Lady Gaga did a special one time and talked about her fibromyalgia.
Yes, I remember because you sent it to me.
Yes, I think that's so interesting because there's some people in my own life who have had fibromyalgia. There's one person still has it, but it's interesting. There are links, or there each of their situations is pretty similar. There was a terrible trauma. One person was raped. You know, the other one almost was. And it is so interesting to me what can happen to you. And that's not saying that they haven't forgiven, or I'm not going down that road at all. I'm not saying, but it is interesting what can happen to you health-wise. That's a proven thing right there.
It is. It really is. And I wish more people knew that there is always something tied to something. There's like people, it's just not, life issues and stuff like this is not just a coincidence. I have okay, I was born with a heart disease. Okay. That necessarily wasn't caused by anything, but there are situations that I've been in. Again, I've not forgiven, and it's led to bitterness or anger or whatever, or sadness. And then as the years progressed, I found out that I've had more health problems, and it's probably because of the way I've handled situations. Or
do you want to say what that situation was?
Just things with my family. I come from a broken home, and there are lots of things that I saw happen, things that were done to me, or things that I did to other people. And I carried a lot, and carrying so much of what other people either placed on me unknowingly or intentionally, maybe. And I don't think that's always the case, and I've had this with friendships too. But anyways, you know, and as humans, that's usually what you do. You get sympathetic with people, and you just, you're carrying this problem and this problem, it's just like a bunch of bags on your back. And as I've walked through and just thought I was a strong, independent woman and I didn't need any help because I was good. I had my problems under control, and I could carry other people's problems. And then I came to this breaking point where I found out I had a lot of other health issues, and that's when everything broke down for me, and I was just almost stripped of everything, basically.
Do you remember when you kept having some... I can't remember what you call it, but like you would come to this breaking point. The
body
feeling.
Experience.
Do you think that has some of the cause?
Yes, I think that is very much okay. So I don't deal with stress how a lot of people deal with stress. I don't freak out. I'm not that type of person. So again, when I am carrying, you know, my own, not only my own burdens, but also the burdens of others, and then dealing with my own life issues and finding out more about myself and how I'm hurt and why I was hurt. And then now having to deal with all those things when I get to this point where I get stressed out, I guess, the way I deal with it apparently is I have an out of body experience where it feels like my spirit, my soul is detached from my physical body, and that I have no control over my body. I can't feel things, heat, the cold, soft, hard, sharp things. I know it's sharp. Real. My brain is telling me, okay, this is hot, this is cold, but I can't really feel it. Even taste has been lost, or vision has been affected. And then just not being able to function, extremely fatigued and tired. Like can't even hold my
I wonder
head
if that's part of a conversion reaction. I'm not saying it is, but I mean,
It could be. It could very well be.
It's sort of those things you're saying do line up a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway.
And even like when I got tested, I got tested for all kinds of things at the beginning of when I started having this stuff. They couldn't find anything wrong with me. Like literally nothing.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, okay, I'm dealing with more than just it goes beyond my control.
Right.
There's so much more going on. There is a warfare going on around me and around my life and around my soul and now my body,
Yeah.
And I'm having to take authority over my body, over my problems, over my situations, and just claim victory over that and speak peace into those things and joy. And I am strong, but it's okay to not be okay all the time either.
Yeah.
100%. I had to come to that point too.
Just taking yourself through the process and also, what works for you, but going through a process of that healing, that, taking those feelings and truly, be able to let things go. And this isn't going to be the last time you're going to have to do it.
No.
No. Because humans, we're just human.
Yeah.
I think we're all doing the best that we can. And some people, for them, that means, they don't do as much as we do. They're going to hurt you.
Yeah.
And, we're very imperfect people. So, we're always going to have to deal with those kind of people the rest of our life. As much as we can, I like peace.
Yes.
I like peaceful surroundings. I do not like drama, but you still have to encounter other people that cause those things.
Right.
That's just how it goes. I may be that person who's not like that, but I'm going to have to encounter those people. And it's like you said before, you have to set boundaries for yourself on certain people.
Yeah.
And I think if you can become strong enough to sort of take that step, because sometimes there's people that really mean a lot in your life, but it's just better that you set boundaries.
Yes.
And it's okay to have boundaries. And it doesn't mean you just cut people off or, just totally forget them. But it means, having a distant relationship.
Yeah.
And maybe that relationship is more distant than distant can be.
Yeah. And that's okay.
And that's okay.
Feel shame for that. And that other person is most likely not going to like the distance, or they're just, you're going to get a lot of hate on the other end from that.
That's true.
And it is okay. I promise you, they're going to live through it. It'll be fine. They'll be fine. But you do have to do what you need to do to keep yourself healthy emotionally, mentally, and physically, because once it affects one part of you, if it's not dealt with in the correct time and with the by the correct means and with the correct tools and everything that you have, if it's not just dealt with, then it's going to lead to other issues.
Yeah. If you can come to the place where you open your heart and realize, okay, I can forgive this person, you're going to be the better for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like we said, it's not necessarily always for them. It's the biggest thing. It's for you and your peace of mind.
Forgiveness and even feeling what you feel, going through the process, taking your time does not make you weak. It does not make you weak. It makes you 10 times stronger, that you're smart enough to do those things, that you just have that wisdom to, okay, let's go through the process. Let's get healing. Let's deal with it.
And be patient with yourself.
Yeah.
Let yourself feel.
And then coming to the point where you can forgive, where you don't have to have bitterness against that person or that situation.
Yeah.
Where you have, because you have the freedom, you have the authority to claim that and say that I am not going to live my life like that, or I'm going to break the cycle of what my family has fallen into, or what my friend circle has fallen into, or the country, or whatever it is. I'm going to be different. I'm not going to handle it like this, because obviously for these people, it hasn't proven right. So I'm going to choose to deal with this differently and actually go through the process and deal and heal and grow and learn and move on from it.
Heal people.
It doesn't even mean you have to, moving on again does not mean you have to drop it either. Once you've gone through dealing through the healing, you're going to still remember that. Like I said, you're going to be faced with trials and tests to see, have I actually moved on from this?
Yeah. And it's not saying, oh, this never happened. We're just going to forget it and move on. But like, recognize your feelings. They're okay. Have those feelings, the negative feelings, have them all, have all the emotions, and then take a step back and look at the picture.
Yeah.
Just look at the whole picture.
Yeah.
And look where you want yourself to be.
Yeah. But you do want to be careful with your emotions. Is yes, okay, they're valid. Let's soak it for a period of time. But when you get to the point where it's becoming mundane and like an automatic reaction for you to rest in your feelings too much, and then you start basing everything off of, well, I don't feel like I don't feel good about this person. I don't feel like I want to be around this person anymore, or whatever. Or he makes me feel bad, or he makes me feel mad or sad or whatever. You also cannot give your feelings control over what you do.
Yeah, and not staying there. That's true. Letting yourself feel the way you do. Yeah. Go ahead, but don't stay there.
No,
you've got to get up from that.
Yeah,
and
it's a very fine line to find, though. It is hard because you're like, okay, have I been feeling for too long, or have I been feeling for long enough, or have I not allowed myself to feel, or you just have to define those lines, and then be able to move past them. So remember the times that you've probably been forgiven. Yes. If that helps you at all. Yeah. Because I think we've all had those times in our lives where we've had to be forgiven. Yeah. Oh,
None of us
sure.
are perfect.
For sure.
So,
And that's the thing. Like, being human is being human. And like I said, some people, we're the worst. We are the worst. So
it's true.
I do all kinds of wrong things. I hurt all kinds of people. And and I have to ask for forgiveness, or I have to forgive. And you just have to have grace with each other.
Yeah.
But also you want to define that line of having too much grace, because I've also seen people in relationships and they just forgive and forgive. Oh, he needs a second chance. He needs okay, but he promises me that he'll do this differently, or she said she won't ever do this to me again, or whatever they say.
When there's this broken cycle.
I will give people a second chance. Again, that's having grace with the person. Okay, and it's a trust factor, and it is like just a blind step that you have to take.
Be smart about it.
But yeah, you do have to be smart about how much you're doing that, because then that person gets used to it and is like, oh, if this happens, I know I can always go back to this person because they're gonna take me back because they're hopeless. Don't
be used. And abused.
No, not at all.
No. But it's all a balance.
Yes.
Everything's a balance in life. It really is.
And it's not always easy, but
no, it's not.
You learn as you go.
And certain situations are just going to have more feelings and emotion. Some things people really go to the end of their life and never get over. Yeah. And it's just as strong as the day it happened.
Right.
There are those situations that are just real and raw. But a lot of times as time goes on, things settle, the dust settles. And if this is something that's going to go away anyway, like, why hold on to that?
Yeah.
Get rid of it. Get rid of those. It's going to go away one day. Just get rid of it now. Don't hold on to it. Because you're holding yourself back, really.
Yes.
When you hold on to that, and you're really holding yourself back from a lot of things.
It's literally like the bag thing. Like, you just keep putting on more bags, holding on to more bitterness, or holding on to more pain, or carrying other people's issues. Yeah. And that you are taking then slower steps because you're carrying so much.
Yeah.
It's like,
why do that to yourself?
Have to do that.
But we do. We do it to ourselves. I have.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Yeah. And it's just learning as you go along in life. Things happen. But learn from it and go on.
Yeah.
And working through situations.
Yeah.
We've talked about it before, but it's so true. Yeah. Like, you got to do it for yourself.
It is.
Number one.
Yes.
Right here.
First of all.
It's not being selfish. It's being smart, being proactive about you, and going on with life, and you'll be more successful.
Yeah. And just being mature about a situation and handling it like an adult, not acting out or denying or whatever it is that you do, just being mature and acting of an adult of this situation. So,
yeah. Good conversation.
That was good.
I enjoyed it.
Smooth.
It's real smooth. Well, we hope you thrive on as we strive to thrive through our life.
Strive to thrive with our lives.
Forgive people, man. Just do it.
Yes.
We'll catch you next time.
All right.
Bye.
Honey, everything you need is in your pocket. Darling, this is what you've been waiting for.